Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix, and this is Car Coach Reports. Hybrids are super popular right now. You know that, and I know that. It's all we hear on the news. But when you take the most popular SUV or crossover and add a hybrid package to it, there's a lot of competition in that area because other manufacturers have beat them to the punch. But this is the 2020 Honda CRV Hybrid, and it's been highly anticipated. People have been waiting for it because they want to see what Honda's going to come up with. This is their first one. It's all-wheel drive, all safeties included, but there are some Car Coach Reports ratings that you probably want to see. Let's take it for a drive. Under the hood is a 2-liter Atkinson engine that has an electric starter and an electric generator that gives you great propulsion, a total combined horsepower of 212, but that gives you a fuel economy of 40 miles to the gallon in the city. That is impressive, and that's why this hybrid's going to do really well in sales. This engine combination of Atkinson electric and a 2-liter engine is not just loud. It does okay, but it sounds like it struggles a little bit to get to 60 miles an hour, which you would need to get on an on-ramp. However, I think the transition from the all EV to the gasoline is nice and smooth, and sometimes it's really uncomfortable, but for this particular vehicle, they did a really good job. And overall, for performance, I couldn't give it any greater than an 8. Handling is an important part of a vehicle because this is what you do every day. So it's not just the ride quality, which is very good. It's also how it goes around corners, how it goes over bumps, the braking, the overall feel of the vehicle, because you're going to live with this vehicle for quite a while. And most people that have a hybrid vehicle are going to be using it in town, back and forth to work, to the airport, to school, whatever it might be. And this is typically a family vehicle, although it's a really good vehicle on the highway because you're going to get great fuel economy and ride as well. But overall, when you're driving this every day, and we've had this for a week, we've got to see what it's like on the highway, driving around places, all those little factors that make a difference in your life. So for handling, I gave it a 9. Safety is a top priority, not just forward collision warning, but all the cross traffic alert, all the things that you do every day. The Honda safety system is standard on all Honda CRVs and CRV hybrids, and that's impressive. Visibility is one of the top criteria I look for in a great vehicle. Seating comfort's number 1, we'll do that next, but visibility is number 2. And visibility is not just important forward because there's a long glass windshield with just great low sills, and it kind of low, but it's really important to know that you can see out the window even in the second row because you typically have kids back there, so it's something to keep in mind. Looking out the back, you've got 3 headrests. 1 is pushed down, but 2 are up, and that sort of impedes on your visibility, so I gave it an 8. When it comes to seating, I always say it's your number 1 criteria. Why? Because you sit in the car. It may look amazing on the outside, and we'll talk about design and quality and all that later on, but right now, when you're looking at just specifically seating, it better be comfortable. So there is 4-way lumbar in the driver's seat, and I appreciate that because I think it should also be on the passenger seat, which it is not. And that's kind of frustrating. The second row has plenty of knee room and headroom. I'm 5'8", and like I've said in the regular Honda CRV, there's nothing different in the second row. There's only 1 single pocket. There are 2 outlets in the back, a 2.5 amp for each of them, and 2 vents. The center console comes up and down for your third person, and there's 2 cup holders. There's tons of storage in the door as well. I think they did a nice job. I'm not really a big fan of the plastic here. The driver's seat has lumbar, but there's nothing on the passenger side. And again, that always frustrates me. So for a total seating comfort, I gave it a 6. When it comes to technology, they've done a great job putting all the controls in front of you so you can see the range, you can see the connection between the battery-powered EV, which only goes like 1 to 2 miles on its own, before it then transitions to gasoline, and that transition is smooth. But when you're looking across to the center stack, it looks current. It has a nice knob, which we appreciate. They've done a lot of upgrades, which is great, but the changing of the stations from going to map or going to something is just a little bit slow compared to everyone else, and the navigation system is kind of dated, to be honest with you. You would think it would have something much more advanced considering the other vehicles that they have on the marketplace. I know it's about price point as well, but it's really important factor. And technology overall for the whole vehicle has a lot of great features compared to some of its competitors. However, the competitors I think are ahead. Therefore, for technology and that slow processor, I gave it an 8. There are a lot of great features in this car, and truthfully, there are a lot of features, not just the soft touch materials, but the gauges in front of you are easy to read. They're digital. You can change them up and customize them the way you want. When you press the down paddle or the negative paddle, it actually will start the regen for the brakes. Little things, little features that are really great. Everything is on the controls for the steering wheel, super easy. Things on the door are as expected. You wouldn't even know you're in a hybrid except for the propulsion of the vehicle and how quiet it is when you're in the EV mode. The center stack is nice and clean, great features. Everything is really simple to use and very intuitive, which I do appreciate. And Honda's really good with that. I mean, that's one of the things they've always done well. Going further down, you don't have a regular prindle. It's actually buttons instead. And I think that's kind of what people are doing because it gives you more freedom, more movement to put cup holders and more storage. And that's excellent. You've also got an Econ button and an EV mode if you just want to cruise around real quietly through your neighborhood and not wake up the neighbors. It's a good thing my kids didn't have this vehicle when they were younger because I know they'd be using it. Further down, there's a charging pad, but there's also 2 additional USB outlets. One is 1.5 and one is 1 amp, and that's great because it makes it really easy to use. 2 cup holders, and then the center console is a bit odd, to be honest with you. It's a rest area for your arm, but when you try to open it, it lifts up, but it's just a hole with a tray covering. So it's a little bit different. I have no problem with it, but it's good to know that before you get in the vehicle and maybe shocked that you don't have the storage in the center that you thought you might. There is a moonroof in every single trim level of the hybrid except for the base entry level. So it's important to know whether you want it or not. Remember, if you buy the base entry level, I don't know if all these options that you're going to want in addition are going to be available. So you can either keep the roof closed or open. I know some people just don't like it. I'm not sure why. There really isn't much you can add as far as features other than lumbar on the passenger side. Like I said earlier, I'm going to give it a 10 for features. The design of the CRV hybrid versus the gas-powered version is a little different. First off, you're going to notice the headlights are different and the front bumper is a little squarer. That's part of letting you know you're driving something different. But the blue around the Honda logo, that's a sign. Also, you notice the design is really nice and clean, just like I gave the same review when it came to the CRV itself. It's very similar. The only difference is the logos. And along the side, there's a hybrid logo, and on the back there's also a hybrid logo and a slightly different badging. Inside there's an EV button. Remember, this is not a pure EV like I said, but you can run it in EV mode for a short period of time. This comes with 19-inch wheels. This is the Touring Edition. This is a little larger than the base, which is 18-inch, and looks very similar to the regular CRV, so you can still drive a hybrid and not make it look like it's so in-your-face different. For design, I gave it a 9. When it comes to quality, you know that Honda makes great products. The panel gaps are great, they have soft materials, and they really give you a lot of value. We'll talk about value at the end, so you want to stay for that, and we'll give you a total of all the ratings. When you're looking at the quality both inside and out, just the way they put things together, it was pretty impressive. I gave it a 9. Under the hood is quite a bit of storage. With the seats up, it's 33.2 cubic feet. With the seats down, it's 39.2 cubic feet. That's a lot of storage. And in an SUV that's hybrid, that gets good fuel economy, that's pretty impressive. There is a lot of value in the CRV hybrid, and I think that's what's really going to make this a successful vehicle for Honda, and I think they know that. The reason being, it starts at $25,000 and goes up to about $35,950. Of course, you can buy all kinds of extras and add that into your lease. There are tons of incentives going on right now for every vehicle, low interest rates, and of course, even delayed purchase payments. It depends upon when you're watching this. But when it comes to value, I gave it a 9, and it really deserved it. When you compare the regular CRV to the CRV hybrid, you'll see they're very similar. The big difference is the driveline, obviously, the hybrid engine, and a few buttons that are different. But overall, if you go and watch the regular CRV review, you'll see that there's really a lot of similarities. And that was really smart on Honda's part because they don't want people to feel uncomfortable when they want better fuel economy. But with the cost of gasoline being down, this may not sell as well as they think. There's a lot of competition in this market segment, and people are looking at what meets their budget needs. When you're looking at the totals with the CRV and the CRV hybrid, you'll see there's so many similarities. So that's why when you look at the score, there really isn't much of a difference. The score in total for everything on the CRV Hybrid is an 86. And you know what? This is actually an excellent vehicle. Look at all the competition. Take it for a test drive. Check out the review we've done before. See what else we're up to and some great incentives, because I try to keep you up to date on those incentives. We appreciate your support on our Patreon page. And of course, we like your comments and I do reply. So as I get more information on this car and other things that you talk about, I'll make sure to put that in there. And if you suggest a different video, we'll be happy to comply. Look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day. Thanks for your time.